Mr. Tsakanikas, would you like to take the stage, the digital stage?
Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
Can hear.
perfect.
Okay, I would like to share some slides that I have prepared for this discussion.
Yeah, we can see them. Yeah, we can see the
You see
start to share.
okay. You see it?
Yeah. Now it's loaded. Yeah.
Okay. So, it's a few slides to have the discussion maybe a little bit and see how this digital transformation and payments, if we can combine them in this if there is post-COVID area. I guess we are inside the COVID area still, and I think we will be for the next 3 or 4 months at least. I'm a professor at the National Technical University of Athens, and also my other hat is I'm heading the Entrepreneurship Observatory at this private think tank, IOVE. Probably you know about IOVE in the Greek, at least the environment the Greek gets here. Of course, I want to put the more macro perspective in a way. We have due to the COVID, of course, we have a huge recession cycle in the economy, and we have increased uncertainty and sectoral fluctuation. And a lot of the tourism, of course, is the one sector that has been severely hit. And there is a risk of a new crisis. We're not the post-COVID era yet, unfortunately, and at least for Greece, the recession will be at the level of -8%, which is significant. We expect to see a rebound next year, but this is, an expectation. The actual numbers for this year will be bad. On the other hand, on the positive side, there's a lot of new tools, and there's a lot of fiscal and monetary policy interventions that continue, both at the national and supranational level. There are economic resources that will be available from the EU to strengthen the economy and support infrastructure and try to smooth out a little bit the situation. But of course, there's no free money. You have to create value. As we have understood in Greece, the last years, there's no money tree, as we say. The money does not grow from trees. So we need to create value, and this is what we are about to discuss, and we are discussing here. At IOVE, we measure every month the economic climate indicator, which it gives us an indication of what businesses feel, what are the expectations about the businesses, and how the consumer confidence feel. And as you can see, from the summer of back in 2015, then there was a gradual improvement in the economic climate in the country. But of course, from March and from April, there was a huge drop in expectations, both of the consumer confidence and on the business expectations. We saw last month a small correction, and on Monday we're going to publish the July report, and I can give you some insights that there will be a small improvement as well for this year, but still we are the business expectations are very pessimistic still. Well, of course, as the new indicators are the indicators for March and April, they come in, they go public now. Of course, everything is very looks doomed. But you see on retail that it is one area that it is very much connected with the digital payments. The decrease of the volume was not is not that big as we expected. It's -5%, which is the first 4 months of the year. But they capture the lockdown effect. From May on, there was a gradual open up of the economy, and yet so the results in retail, it might not be as bad as we anticipated. So that is, of course, a reason because some sectors like the supermarkets volume was exploded, and also other channels, the digital channels, compensated for the loss that we saw in specific sectors of retail. So actually we saw this substitution from the physical channels to the electronic channels, and this seems to be reflected also on the official data as they go public from the Greek statistics. Now, are there any opportunities? Yes, there is. Of course, the country, the publicity of the country is a little bit more positive compared, of course, to the previous, the program with the fiscal adjustment programs. Now, because of the success of the country in dealing with the health issues now, the brand, let's say, of Greece is a little bit better than it used to be. And of course, there is opportunities, as I told you, with new mechanisms and new tools that they are developed at the European level. The banking sector, despite our problems that we have, there's still liquidity in place, and this can help, of course, the banks work a little bit with the SMEs at better conditions that we used to have the previous years. Of course, we had the shock of the capital controls here in Greece. This was a shock that affected our everyday business and life, but also it led to an explosion in the use of digital cards and card transactions. There was a huge increase in the card transactions. People, consumers felt more, they developed trust on cards. And this was, let's say, a positive result of this negative effect that was the capital controls. On the other hand, SMEs are not very familiar with these digital channels and even the cards. We are still lagging behind in many indicators that DESI publishes, as you know, and we still are at a very low level, but there is a lot of potential for improvement. And this is something that the startup ecosystem and government is pushing towards to improve the situation. And I think we're going to see some regulations, some policy measures on this aspect as well in the following years. Of course, we have to understand that SMEs they face significant difficulties. They face they lack the resources to support this digital transformation. There's a cultural barriers and a fear of change. And in most of the cases, it is not something that they discuss a lot. It is not something that is at the top of their agenda. The shortage of the technology experts and the difficulty maybe on the sector to attract them also delays the digital transformation. But I think that due again to the COVID situation, we will see more investments in IT from SMEs. They will be investing in alternative digital channels. This has gained attention, and this is an emergency exit. It is an emergency strategy with lockdowns, and this has, I think, already started to making a change in the mentality of SMEs. Of course, you need policies to affect the situation, and you need policies to affect the demand side. You need to have incentives from people to use digital cards, okay, the consumers, and also there are other means that the government have been using as a lottery or things like that. And also on the supply side, you have to see that the competition with the banks is working already, and the fees remain low. And there are a lot of actions that governments have taken in the past, and they will enforce, I think, more measures towards these directions. There are a lot of administrative measures. I'm not going to go into all this detail, but there are various aspects that the government will be intervening in order to support digital payments, at least to the areas that this is not very common. So to sum up, and despite the turbulent times, I think there is a still untapped potential in this ocean of SMEs. They are now, and this is let's say a good thing of the COVID, that they are starting to grasp the benefits of digital transformation, both for their internal re-engineering, their internal processes, and how they can manage costs and things like that, but also for providing better services to their clients. Of course, in Greece, the cash temptation is always alluring. Having cash is always a temptation, but this is a short-minded approach, and I think it will become even less attractive due to regulation that is coming in place. So this is something that we will see in the next couple of months. And also on the side of the startup ecosystem, I think their role is very crucial to guide SMEs through this process. They are not going to be convinced simply by just trying to convince them with, they need actual numbers, how their investments in IT and in these solutions can provide some value. And it is the role of companies as the startuppers that they are there and they are the small size and they can help in this transformation, in this digital transformation journey. And by that, this is all I had to do, I think, in this discussion. Thank you.